Pasha Pyro, YNet7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. Big board peeps. Yo, we looking for that pep. It's December 9th out here. We closing out the Q4 2020. All right. So, speaking of closing out Q4 2020, you know what 2020 has done. There's some good sides and some bad sides. I'm not gonna say which side of the scale is heavier, but let's get into it. With everything that's going on, right? I think I've been watching this first stock here for you for a minute. And it's just come out of my little zone that I had it in, and it's holding. So what we know is this is what the climate has done, right? We got foreclosures on the horizon, people. Whether we like it or not, okay? Now, when you look at this article here, I see some keys. So despite the moratoria, it says, and this is from November 11th, foreclosures increased 20% in October, which means we have I don't know, maybe you know what November's numbers are. If you do, drop the comment in the comments. So in October, foreclosures increased 20%, but that number was down nearly 80% year over year. Now, if the majority of the population is in a situation where they're taking advantage of the moratoria, and the increase still went up 20%, I'm just looking at the numbers. Okay, it said increased in 20%. It didn't say just 20% from last year. It increased from September up 20%. Now that number's down 80% year over year. So that means that normally the regular rate of foreclosures would already be 80% greater than that. So to me, that translates to this 20% increase on top of whatever September was is all technically surplus to what the 80% was last year. And none of that pales to the realistic number that's being manipulated by the moratoria, the forgiveness of foreclosures right now. So, some little detail there. It says, despite the foreclosure moratoria holding steady in several states, a recent foreclosure report from, in bold, revealed a total of ... U.S. properties began the foreclosure process in October. It's up 21% from a month ago. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Now we're going to go to this stock, and it's probably one of the slowest moving stocks that you've seen on big board P.E.P. so far. I mean, it's very new. It's new. I think I've been doing this like 2 weeks. I just want, it's part of my therapy of growth. You know, I need to keep, I learned that it was best to keep a log, you know, a little log book. And so this is my log book and I'm sharing it with you. All right. The stock is Altisource Portfolio Solutions. It's ASPS. Now, I've been watching this thing for a while. The P.E.P. has been slow, and it has a very stable pattern since the May-June period. All right, ups and downs, but because it's slow, I look at that as stable because you can kind of see where it's going because it's moving in slow motion. All right. So it broke out of the little downward zone downward trend, you want to say. And it's held over the last few days. And there's some articles there from the last couple of days about how the foreclosure wave could impact a housing shortage, and then some attorney was suspended attorney charged with real estate fraud amid foreclosures in Brooklyn. Portland families explain problems. So this coincides with the breakout, and I think now's the time to get in, because if you ask me, this is a $30 stock. Okay, $19.50 to $30, and it peaked after the 2008 crisis. About a year or so later, foreclosures have a process. So as that more and more were entering that process, their value of the stock just skyrocketed, and it peaked at 171.51, about there. So sitting at $13.95, I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight. The stock has the potential to 10x in 2021 for you, 2022, at the, somewhere between there. And you probably should see some good stable growth between now and Q1 2021. All right. So looking at that, enter at your own risk. Of course, the floor could fall out of anything. You see where I'm at with it. If we can get over the yellow period there's a nice green area. It's sitting right at the purple period I've been having it bouncing around in for a while, and it's at the top. If it breaks through, it can go all the way through that yellow period. You could easily see close to $16 real soon. So this could go a few different ways, but you see where I'm going with it, okay? So $20, $30 Q1, Q2 at the latest should be really within reason. Depending on the volume after the moratoria is released or removed, you're talking this stock could go to $100 a share somewhere after there within the next time period. Okay, moving on. The next one. Now, I've been introduce you guys to Romeo Power, and they just made some moves, and I was looking at it. Now, this was released or announced December 2nd. All right, they're bringing in another guy here. I introduced you to the CEO, and this guy that they're bringing in prior to his retirement in 2018. So he's had enough experience to retire. If you want to look at it in time and hours served. And then Mr. Williams, his name is, served as a partner and managing director of Major Lindsay and Africa LLC. It was an executive firm where he conducted searches for board members, CEOs, and senior legal executives from 2005 and 2018. He's also served as director of global diversity search, assisting legal organizations in enhancing their diversity. And you can go ahead and catch that detail if you want to pause the video and read the rest of that. What this means to me, because they already locked in their new CEO, and now it looks like they're bringing in a recruiter. To me, this signifies you're about to have some growth exponentially, and you're wanting to prepare. You want to build a team around that's going to match the performance of that growth. So if we take a look at RMG, we see that towards the end of November there, had that nice parabolic, and me, I was like, it's risky. It's always risky though. So you didn't know what it was going to do because it was just shooting up, and that's always like you have no way of knowing what's going to happen next. So this P.E.P closed at $18.92 today. I think it was up. Let me see here. It was up 51 cents on the day. So opening volume though today was top 10 for the year. Now it tapered off after that, it dropped off, later in the day. That matches its historic trend. And much more of the P.E.Ps in the last week, much more than the recent. I may have some typos. I gotta get some more sleep. But look, you get what I'm saying. So what I'm getting at is the volume within the last, let's say, 4 weeks has been very concentrated in comparison to weeks and months prior. Okay, so they're preparing to go into their merger completion period or what have you. So we're getting close to that time period. Again, they just announced that they brought in what I'm going to call the recruiter, right? So once it goes into effect, he's going to be probably doing that role there and building this company up along with the CEO. And they're ready to make a run for it, Olympic style. You see what I'm saying? So much of the P.E.P., I think it's good for the look of 2190 to 2367 by Friday, unless something goes wrong. It's in the red, and it's only in the red because I'm still a little cautious about it. If we get into that green area, lock in profits. Just profit lock all the way up, right? The purple area is going to be, or the purple or the blue, whatever you want to call that bar, it's going to be a hurdle. It has to fight to get over. It's going to have to fight to get over that, right? Now, the floor is 1560. So if it falls from the sky, your worst case scenario, we should only be talking a $3.2 drop, right? But anything's possible. But I'm thinking if it can get over that hurdle there, the blue or the purple, whatever you want to call it, that whole yellow box is wide open field for it. If it can break past the safeties in the blue or the purple zone, it might be able to complete the pass in any of that yellow box, which is close to $30 a share. So pay attention to RMG over the next couple of days. I think it's a good look. Now, you got to go to NIO, right? So NIO has some of the most loyal people I've ever seen. And I had this funny conversation with this. I dropped a video, my last video, and I said, hey, look, I said two things. I said, NIO's going to go, there's the green area I had listed for NIO was around a $44 mark. This actually makes you feel good. It's a gift and a curse, right? Because you be trying to help people, and people, they they had their, it's one thing if you listen to what I'm saying and you're like, nah, that's just crazy, this is why I feel like that. But this person was like, I couldn't even listen to the video. The information for NIO didn't even come into like the 2-minute mark, so they never got to the information. And they said, I must be on something. I'm like, yeah, I'm on top. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing here at Big Board P.E.P., me and my peeps. You know what I mean? You one of them, right? Click the subscribe button, notification bell, because I drop videos when I feel like it. I don't have a regular routine. And you can catch this whenever it comes out by hitting the subscribe notification and share it with your peeps that might also be in the NIO and flipping stuff. So right, I dropped the video. I said, hey, it was a conversation going on. A couple people was talking about NIO. I said, hey, look, watch out for this tomorrow. Here's a video. Check it out. And it was some conversation. But so the day happened. Now, not only was it the 44 mark, I said the green, and the NIO closed today at 44.01. But that was just my visual from, the regular once it's on the big screen. When I went back to my charts, it was actually, my chart was at, the green box was precisely at 42.94, and NIO's low for the day was 42.96. So, I just be playing, you know what I'm saying? I'm just making plays, and it was kind of interesting. But let's look at NIO because I'm going to tell you what I think about it. So the P.E.P. closed at 44.01, as we mentioned. The volume pepped up today compared to yesterday, but it pepped up to further drive NIO down. All right. So give the NIO fans credit. Like I said, I got out around $55 or so, up from the low 30s. So I've been waiting for stability. It's had a lot of opportunity for plays since then. As you can see, there's really nice up and down motion. I just wanted to stabilize. But my green box, like we mentioned, started at 42.94. The low for the day was 42.96. I expect a floor for this for the time being at 40.77. And I can't tell you if it's going to go up or down, but I'm thinking you're going to see a noticeable difference in the trajectory between now and Tuesday or midweek next week. Anything above $45, immediately lock in profits between now and then. All right? Okay, that's it, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, Pasha Pyro, Y.7, big board P.E.P for my peeps, or peeps looking for P.E.P. Thank you for tuning. The replay.